Today topic is Rafale deal and alleged corruption. So Rafale deal is a defense deal between two governments, France and India, where India is buying 36 Rafale jet from France. As of now, Indian Air Force have about 32 squadron. A squadron in Air Force is a unit consisting a number of military aircraft, usually of the same type, typically ranging from 12 to 24 aircraft. But to efficiently secure our borders, Indian Air Force at least need 42 squadron. That's why Rafale deal is a crucial one for our country's security. First, let's check the timeline of this deal. It all started from 2007. A proposal to buy medium multi-role combat aircraft, that is MMRCA, is sent from Air Force to government. Tenders for 126 MMRCA fighter are issued by Indian government in 2007. August 2007. Dassault places its bid for Rafale. Other bidders were Russia's MiG-35, the Swedish Saab JAS-39 Gripen, American Lockheed Martin F-16, the Boeing FA-18 Super Hornet and Eurofighter Typhoon. May 2011. Air Force shortlist Rafale and Eurofighter jets. January 2012. The bids are finally opened. Rafale came up with the lowest bid. According to conditions, 126 jets were procured, out of which 18 fighters were to be imported in a flyaway condition. Hindustan Aeronautic Limited was supposed to manufacture the remaining 108 jet with assistance from Dassault. There was no final agreement between India and France on the pricing. March 13, 2014. Negotiation over pricing, technology, weapon system customization and maintenance continued. The government changed. April 10, 2015, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Paris in April and announces government's decision to buy 36 Rafale fighter in flyaway condition, citing the critical operational requirement of the Indian Air Force. June 2015, Defense Ministry officially withdraw 126 aircraft deal tender. September 2016, India and France signed the final deal for 36 Rafale jet for Euro 7.87 billion, that is approximately 59,000 crore rupees. According to this deal, the delivery of jets would start from September 2018. October 3 and 2016, Anil Ambani's RDL and Dassault Aviation announced a joint venture. Under the contract, Dassault was mandated to make compensation investment, that is offsets, in India worth 50% of the value of the purchase. February 2017, Dassault Reliance Aerospace Limited joint venture is formed. Now let's look into allegation. First, Congress had a better deal than BJP. Facts. There was no deal under Congress, only negotiation. So we have to compare Congress government negotiation with BJP deal. Under BJP deal, 36 Rafale fighters will be delivered in flyaway condition, where Congress deal talked about purchase of 126 Rafale fighter jets. Of these, 18 Rafale fighter jets were to be delivered by the French company in flyaway condition, while the rest 108 were to be manufactured in India at Hindustan Aeronautic Limited, that is HAL. Both Congress and BJP deal comes with a 50% of offset clause, which means Dassault will invest 50% of the deal price in India. BJP deal comes with MICA missiles, while there is no MICA missiles under Congress deal. Again, under BJP's deal, Meteor missiles will be provided with jet, but under Congress deal, there was no mention of Meteor missiles. Under BJP's deal, full weapon package will be provided. No mention of weapon package under Congress deal. Under BJP deal, there will be performance-based logistics. Nope. 14 India-specific enhancement and associated supplies will be delivered with jets under BJP deal. Nothing like that under Congress deal. Under BJP deal, the guarantee of total 36 Rafale jet was completely accepted by Dassault. Under Congress deal, Dassault agreed to give guarantee to 18 jets, which it manufactured, but was not ready to give guarantee to other 108 jets, which will be assembled by HAL in India. Finally, deal was finalized for 59,000 crore, that is 7.87 billion euro under BJP. Congress wanted Dassault to give guarantee on other 108 jet also, but Dassault declined, which became a bone of contention between UPA government and Dassault, and it is one of the reasons why UPA government couldn't finalize the deal. So there was no deal under Congress. Under BJP deal, a flight cost around 1,600 crore. Under Congress, as there was no deal finalized, there is no official price of jet. All we have is alleged price by Congress spokesperson. Even Congress members are not very sure about the price. Every Congress member have a different price to offer. For example, cost estimated by Congress spokesperson Randeep Singh Surjewala and senior party leader Kapil Sibal for Rafale deal vary by a big margin. According to Surjewala, the Rafale deal worked by the UPA government, that is Congress government, was of rupees 42,000 crore, while in Sibal's calculation, the 126 jet deal could have cost around rupees 79,200 crore. Even Congress party leader, that is Rahul Gandhi, does not have a reliable price. His price of jet change according to time and place. On April 29 at Jan Agros rally in New Delhi, compared the prices of Rafale aircraft for the first time, where he stated that under Congress deal, each Rafale aircraft would cost rupees 700 crore. On July 20, in his landmark speech during the non-confidence motion against Modi government in Lok Sabha, the cost of each Rafale plane was rupees 520 crore. In less than 3 weeks from his speech in Parliament, Rahul Gandhi in a public rally in Raipur mentioned that each Rafale aircraft costed under UPA government deal was about 540 crore. On August 11, within just 2 minutes, he quoted two different prices, rupees 520 crore and rupees 540 crore for each aircraft. So let's give time for Congress and let them come with a single price for jet and deal. Till that time, we cannot compare. Now, second, the allegation of overpricing of the jets. As you seen here, Congress doesn't have a proper price. So to know whether Rafale jet under Modi's Rafale deal is overpriced or not, we have to compare with other customer of Rafale jets. Recently, Qatar and Egypt have been bought Rafale jet from Dassault. Let's see how it costed for them. In case of Egypt, it bought 24 aircraft as part of a deal valued at 5.2 billion euros. So, for a jet, it costed around 217 million euro for them. Qatar has recently signed a deal worth over 7 billion euro for 24 Rafale jets. So, Qatar paid 291 million euro for a jet. India bought 36 Rafale jet for 7.87 billion euro, which means India paid about 213 million euro for a jet. As you seen here, our prices is very lower than Qatar and slightly higher than Egypt. So there is no overprice here. Third allegation is favoritism. It is alleged that Anil Ambani was favored by Modi while ignoring HAL. Not true. Decision about selecting offset partner is taken by Dassault company. Neither French nor Indian government have a say in this. They will select who they think suitable for the job. But HAL is experienced. Yeah, they have more experience, but experience doesn't mean efficiency. HAL's history make any foreign company to think twice before entering an agreement with them. Even Congress created a committee to examine the HAL due to its many failures and delays. Even during Rafale controversy period, parliamentary panel headed by none other than Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge has expressed serious concern over HAL's failure to provide the required number of Tejas aircraft to the Air Force, adversely affecting its combat potential and posing a security threat. But Ambanis have no experience. First, it will be a joint venture with Dassault Rafale, so there will be Dassault to guide Ambani's defense venture. Second, they are not manufacturing entire jet but only jet parts like radar, which will send to France where it will be assembled. 4. Why just 36 jets when it is not enough? It was the Indian Air Force which suggested that the government to buy 2 squadron or 36 Rafale jets in flyaway condition instead of 18 as was planned to be purchased under Congress-led UPA government, and government is more interested to induct Tejas from HAL to fill the vacuum. 5. Then why we are buying 36 Rafale jets Just Tejas is enough. It cannot be done as it will increase the workload of HAL, which is not viable at this point of time. And Air Force need fighter jets as soon as possible. Even Air Marshal had said Modi Rafale deal is not overpriced. Even after answering of every question of Congress, Congress was not satisfied. They continued to make problem. So government allowed CAG to examine BJP's Rafale deal and Congress Rafale negotiation. CAG released his report. As you see here, according to CAG, the Modi's Rafale deal is 2.6% cheaper than Congress Rafale negotiation. As usual, Congress denied all of this and began to call CAG as Modi's agent. Then Congress turned their attention towards Supreme Court, decided to file a public interest litigation, that is PIL, and asked for court-monitored probe in Rafale deal. But Supreme Court dismissed all public interest litigation filed by Congress, stating that satisfied that there is no occasion to doubt the process of signing the Rafale deal. Thereby, Supreme Court gave a thumbs up for Rafale deal. Frustrated Congress, to avoid embarrassment, began to move away from public interest litigation it fight, and they are still trying to create a conspiracy theory, including a love triangle between French government, Modi and Ambani.